Welcome everyone to Living with the Times. Today we're going to look at a recent Torah portion that we read, Bahalotcha, and see a very, very interesting thing that we can apply to our lives. So the first three portions of the book of Numbers, the book of Bamidbar, deals extensively with the Levites, with the Levi'im. Their service, when they enter into the service, when they leave the service, what the service is, how they are chosen, and all of those different matters. And in one of the verses, so it says that Netunim, they're given over, they're prepared, they're tasked by God for the service in the tabernacle, the Mishkan. And Rashi says, very short commentary, what does it mean they're prepared? And it's a double language, two times, Netunim. So he says they are prepared for caring, and they're prepared for singing. This is what they're prepared for. In other words, that's the task of the Levites in the tabernacle, later in the temple, to assist the Kohanim, the priests, in all of their divine service, but specifically in caring, because remember in the desert, when Israel moved from place to place, the tabernacle had to be broken down and traveled with and then set up again. And the Levites did a lot of this work. And they also did the singing in the temple. We know that the Torah is eternal. We don't have a temple now. We still have Kohanim and Levi'im, but we don't have the service in the temple. But before we received the Torah at Sinai, so God said to all the Jewish people, that you are to be Mamlechet Kohanim v'Goy Kadosh, a nation of priests and a holy nation. So what does it mean? We're not all Kohanim, we're not all priests, but vis-a-vis the world, just like the Kohanim were the teachers, were the spiritual guides, were the inspirational individuals, so too, that is what Israel's task is to be a Mamlechet Kohanim. So we also, though, have the idea of being a Levite, because the Kohanim were from the tribe of Levi. They were all Levites, but they were their own branch. We could say it like that. So what can we learn from this? That we're prepared for caring and we're prepared for singing. And I should just mention that the singing in the temple was one of the highest experiences that people who came to the temple and the tabernacle had. The singing was and the music was heavenly, and it accompanied all of the offerings, and there was singing every day in the temple. And so when people came with high expectations of a spiritual, even mystical experience, the singing was a very big part of it. But what we can learn from this is that each and every one of us carries a burden in this world, on an individual level, but also as on a national level. We all have things that we have to accomplish. We have responsibilities. We have tasks to perform. And that's what's called carrying a burden. But carrying a burden doesn't have to be a negative thing. We all have what to accomplish in this world, and we should be prepared. We are tasked to fulfill our potential in this world. And as a nation, God gave us a task, a mission, all the way back to Avram Avinu, to the first Jew, Abraham, he was told to be a father of many nations, and that all the nations would be blessed through him. And that is our mission to today, is to reveal the one God in the world. So whether it's on an individual level or on a national level, we carry, in a sense, the weight of the world on our shoulders. That doesn't have to be a negative thing. It's a privilege to have been tasked in such a way. The Kohanim and the Leviim were privileged to perform the service in the tabernacle and the temple. And the second thing Rashi says, they were prepared to sing. And this is an important lesson to us, that as we go through our journey in this world, and we do have, we'll call them burdens or responsibilities, but we should do it with a sense of joy, a sense of thanks and acknowledgement and praise to God. The highest level of singing is when we're praising God for all the good that He has given us, for the beautiful world that God has created. And so songs of praise it's a privilege to be able to be part of a people that have a tradition of praising God through the Psalms and our prayers. And so we should all learn from this parsha, that we should carry out our responsibilities in this world. Our burden is to fulfill our potential as individuals and as a nation. And we should do it with much singing, with much joy.